been an interesting process. One, we've appreciated the opportunity to produce all of our financials, all of our bank statements, all of our payroll records, all of our canceled checks, all our time cards, and just about all of everything that was asked for we could produce, including credit card statements and so forth.
We only hearing part of the conversation, please.
I think a couple of points where, if I'm looking at your position and how you would address the transition period, there's just overlap, and you would expect overlap in any transition between one company acquiring the assets or the responsibility of another, that there just is transition. If you knew of an employee that was getting ready to quit, you would hire a replacement, you expect an overlap. And so in that theory, you would have an employer who was paying twice for the same position, because you were asking one employee who was leaving to transfer their knowledge to the new one. And so from that perspective, you would see that you might be paying more for that position for a company. There's no, the analogy is the same between two companies. And so what we have done, and what is consistent with refining the process and an accounting that shows people were working in transition during the project. When we brought up the conversation about Tech River as an entity, it was something beyond what LST had talked about. It talked about creating a single product, and it had a single point of reference in terms of its deliverables, along with the tech center. We came in and expanded it to a formal training program and did a lot of other things. And at that time, we said, if you will give us an advance, then we will complete an acquisition of LifeSync, and we will transition that, as well as then add more elements to our deliverables, which is outlined in section 4, and we did that. We then did, at the end of the year, once the draw request format was agreed upon by the board, we went back and recreated a draw request for September, October, November, and December on the last day of December, and we presented those in January. And in January's request, what we were attempting to do was to tie draw requests that were as close to an estimation of what we were spending on the project as possible. And so it's no different that if you're going to budget what your electricity would be next month, you would probably look at the prior month's bill. And that's what we did, and that's why all the draw requests were created. When you look at the findings that they have, or what they call questionable costs, it is not to say that none of this money was not spent on the project. It was all in excess of what we took from the IDA was spent on the project. A lot more money has gone in to the deliverables, as outlined in section 4, than what the IDA did in terms of funding draw requests. But if you take out, if you look at this slide that you don't have it, it outlines $140,000. If you take, and we can have a discussion on the licensing agreement, and we take out the bridge, any questions about the bridge, you're talking about draw requests that was over 98% accurate. 98.3% accurate.